and YouTube Live from Dobbins Stadium in Davis, California. It's the visiting Oakland Ballers and the hometown Yolo High Wheelers. So hard to believe we have reached the final regular season series this year, and, well, the way these two teams have been playing, I have a sneaky suspicion we could be meeting again next week, but you never know. However, the way things are shaking of late, it appears to be that way. But it's a lot of fun, and we have said within the last few weeks it'll be fun to see how it all shakes out. And right now, these two teams are one game apart for first place in the Pioneer League second half race. Oakland comes in at 55 and 35 overall, Yolo at 50 and 38. The second half race, however, sees Oakland at 28 and 14 and Yolo at 27 and 15. So first place is very much up for grabs here in the last week of the regular season. And while Yolo is one game back of first, remember you only need to get to second place, and Yolo right now has a 4-game second place lead over Boise, in large part because of Yolo winning 10 out of 12 against Boise over the last couple of weeks, including 5 of 6 here and most recently 5 of 6 up in the capital of Idaho. So, as I said, these two teams about to meet, and it just seems like all of this year we've been meeting, Yolo has been meeting with Oakland, and believe it or not, these teams took about a month off without meeting. Oakland, or Yolo played the likes of the Colorado teams and played Boise for 12. So after not seeing Oakland for 30 games, as I said, these teams will see each other for the final 6 of the regular season starting here this afternoon. Pitching matchup today for the Oakland Ballers. It'll be right-hander Zach St. Pierre who gets the baseball. 6 wins, 4 losses, and a 5.03 ERA. And he'll be opposed by Yolo right-hander Cameron Rapetti. And his record is 7-4 and a 4.58 earned run average, which is fourth best in the Pioneer League. So should be a good pitching matchup here this afternoon on another hot day for baseball here. Weather was good last homestand. It was a lot more comfortable, not nearly as hot, but the midsummer temperatures have re-arrived, and we're going to be in for some hot conditions here, whether it be today or the rest of this week. All right, let's go to the starting lineups right now for the Oakland Ballers and manager Aaron Miles. Again, Oakland a record overall of 55 and 35 and a 1-game second half lead for first place at 28 and 14 over Yolo. Oakland lineup looks like this, leading off and playing center field Brett Carson. Dante Stewart bats second place second. The third place hitter is the left fielder Noah Martinez. Brett Barrera, the cleanup batter, he's at first base, a guy who Yolo saw up at Idaho Falls a few months ago. Trip Clark does the catching and hits fifth. Stephen Wilmer, he plays right field and bats sixth. Hitting seventh, the designated hitter Jalen Smith. Brad Burkell is slotted eighth. He's at third base, and batting ninth at shortstop Josh Leslie, with the right-hander Zach St. Pierre on the mound. Again for Oakland and manager Aaron Miles, it's Carson, Stewart, Martinez, Barrera, Clark, and Wilmer, Smith, Burkell, Leslie, and the righty St. Pierre on the mound. Now to the field for the national anthem. All right, the national anthem here this afternoon. Now look at the Yolo starting lineup, and manager Billy Horton. Again, Yolo second place, one game back of Oakland in the Pioneer League second half race, but a second place lead of 4 games over Boise for that last playoff spot. Yolo 50-38 overall and 27-15 in the Pioneer League. Leading off and playing center field is Braylon Skinner. Batting second at shortstop, Braylon Marine. Braden Blackford hits third, and he plays third. Jose Gonzalez is the cleanup batter, and he's at first base. Alejandro Figueiredo, the designated hitter, and he hits fifth. In the sixth slot in right field, Tanner Smith. David Glancy, he is the left fielder and bats seventh. Hitting eighth and playing at second base is Bobby Leday, and batting ninth and doing the catching, Angel Mendoza. And again on the mound, the right-hander in Cameron Rapetti. So again, for the Yellow Highwheelers and manager Billy Horton, it's Skinner, Marine, and Blackford, Gonzalez, Figueiredo, and Smith, Glancy, Leday, Mendoza, and the righty Rapetti on the mound. The starting lineups here this afternoon. The umpires for today's game, calling balls and strikes, is the crew chief, Bill Shortridge. The umpire at first base is Dean Poteet. And the umpire around at third is Eric Martinez. Your Ron Adams, Pioneer League assigned California-based umpires. All right, ready to play some baseball here on this Tuesday afternoon. Yolo and Oakland, and well, again, these two teams have been about as hot as anybody, and now they meet for the final week of the regular season. So ready to, as I said, get the show on the road right here, and Brett Carson to lead it off for the Oakland Ballers. It'll be Carson, Stewart, and Martinez to face the 23-year-old right-hander from Orange County, and Cameron Rapetti, who is out of the windup, and the game's first pitch is low inside, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. We're underway at 4:08 this afternoon, 99 degrees from Davis, California. So 1 ball and no strikes, the count to Carson. Inappropriate, the first matchup of the year. Meets here in the last regular season series of the year as Rapetti pours in a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. And what I mean by that is this was the exact batter-pitcher matchup on opening night, May 21st here. Rapetti was the opening night starter for Yolo, and Carson then with Rocky Mountain led off that game, led off the season. As the 1-1 pitch, and Carson takes strike 2 on the outside corner, 1-2. So now the tables have turned a little bit. Carson, who was dealt to Oakland about a month ago, now leads off this series against Rapetti. The 1-2 on the way, and that shot right back to the mound. Snagged nicely by Rapetti. He'll run the ball halfway to first. Underhand toss to Gonzalez. And Carson is out, 1 down. Well, Cameron Rapetti, good thing he stands 6'4", 230 pounds, because it looked like that ball was going to go right up the middle. And instead, Rapetti says, I don't think so, and made a nice play there on the mound, fielding his position. So 1 down. No score, top of the first. Now Dante Stewart, a guy who had just joined Oakland when we saw them last in the late July bats, and he takes outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So again, these two teams 1 game apart for first place in the Pioneer League second half standings. Oakland 28-14 in the second half. Yolo 27-15. The 1-0 pitch, and Stewart takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Both of these clubs have won 8 out of their last 10. Both of these teams each won 5 out of 6 in their recent series, the 1-1. And Stewart takes strike 2 on the inside corner, 1-2. But Yolo has won 5 out of 6 now in 3 straight series. I mean, that's tough to do in one series. They've done it now 3 straight series. The Highwheelers won 5 out of 6 at Grand Junction, and then both series against Boise, Yolo won 5 of 6. The kick on the 1-2. And Stewart flies this one to center. Skinner is right there in the sun, makes the easy catch, 2 out. So Dante Stewart, who grew up in the Houston area, is retired, 2 down. And now Noah Martinez will come up to face Rapetti with a game no score, top of the first. Yolo and Oakland on this sun-filled early September afternoon. But, as I say, I think it's only appropriate that these two teams meet with a lot on the line this week as Martinez takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Martinez, 327, 21 homers, 71 RBIs, and he looks at strike two on the inner half. Breaking ball there. No balls, two strikes. Outfield around to the left, and the pitch to Martinez, low on a play, 1-2. And you look at this lineup for Oakland. You know, Martinez has been here or been with Oakland all season. Only three of the offensive starting players today for Oakland have been here all year as Martinez takes low 2-2. Noah Martinez, Jalen Smith, and Brad Burkell. Yolo is challenged that, and apparently it's been overturned to strike three. And Martinez, as it turns out, is down on strikes. So that turns in, instead of 3-2, to a strikeout and a perfect first for Petty with his first strikeout today. After half an inning, Oakland nothing as Oakland goes in order. Oakland nothing, and Yolo coming up on YouTube Live. On the mound this afternoon for the Oakland Ballers as we go to the bottom of the first inning, no score, is the right-hander from the Dallas area, Zach St. Pierre. He stands 5'11", 185 pounds, and he is 26 years old. And he will face Braylon Skinner to lead it off. Then after that, Braylon Marine and Braden Blackford face St. Pierre. His record, 6-4. And a 5.03 earned run average for Zach St. Pierre. St. Pierre, by the way, 23rd game for him and his 14th out of the, let's try this again, Doug. St. Pierre, it's his 23rd game this year. It's his 10th as a starter. So Yolo has seen St. Pierre as both a starter and a reliever this year. Braylon Skinner leads it off. No score. St. Pierre, the full windup and the pitch, and Skinner takes, and that's low and in for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes against Zach St. Pierre. Outfield, medium depth straight away, and the 1-0 to Skinner. And he swings and pops one up foul left side, strike one. And the 1 ball, and the count's at a ball and a strike. .299 for Skinner. He has 7 homers, 45 runs batted in. The kick and the 1-1, and Skinner takes high ball 2-1. So I was mentioning before that the Ballers in their offensive lineup, only 3 of the 9 have been here all year, but when you factor in the starting pitcher, St. Pierre, he's been here all season. The 2-1 popped up foul left side, strike 2. And the count's at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Skinner, who was the only Highwheeler not to reach base the other night, but did have 4 hits last Saturday against Boise. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch, and Skinner is hit with it. Low and in, and that got him. So a break there for the High Whalers, and Skinner will go down to first base. Well, Braylon got to watch his speed. Fourth in the Pioneer League in steals with 38. Mentioned Skinner hitless the other night, was 0 for 5. That snapped his 7-game hitting streak. So Skinner at first, nobody out, 0-0, and now Braylon Marine bats. Second best average in the league at 390, 9 homers, 66 RBIs. St. Pierre delivers. There goes Skinner, and Marine on the hit and run pops it high in the air down the right field side. Foul, strike one. And the count is a no balls and 1 strike to Braylon Marine. I guess when you're hitting 390, you're hitting well against everybody. But I think Marine is sad that he no longer is going to see Boise. No balls and a strike. Sidestep offering, and Marine swings. Line drive toward left and over to make the catch Martinez. A sinking liner, and Martinez had to move a few feet to his right and reach down around his knees to haul that one in. And Skinner stays at first. One down. No score. Bottom of the first inning. Yolo and Oakland. And now it's Braden Blackford at bats. We was talking about Marine, who had 2 4-hit games against Boise and was 21 for 50 against the Hawks. He had 420 over those 12 games against Boise and had 8 RBIs. Well, Blackford did well against Boise, too, and we'll see what happens here as Braden comes up. 333, 13 homers, including one the other night. 61 runs batted in. Blackford, not only a home run the other night, but he was a triple shy of the cycle. He was 3 for 5. And the pitch on the way, and that's in the dirt, ball 1 from St. Pierre. 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, just talking about Marine, who hit 420 against Boise. Blackford was 17 for 41 against Boise. He had 415 against the Hawks. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Skinner at first being held on by Barrera. 0-0, bottom of the first inning. And St. Pierre ready to go from the belt. Delivers, and Blackford looks up and away, ball 2. So the count's now with 2 balls and no strikes from Zach St. Pierre, who's made 10 appearances this year against Yolo. He's 1-1 against the High Whalers. 2 balls, no strikes. Again, lead at first base by Skinner. And the pitch, and Blackford takes a bender for a strike on the outside corner, 2-1. St. Pierre, in his last appearance, faced Idaho Falls. That was a 1-0 Oakland win. St. Pierre did not figure a decision in that ball game. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Blackford, wearing his white pants up to his knees as he normally does. As Skinner goes, Blackford swinging a miss, high fastball, throw to second base, and Skinner is out with a dive. Good throw, the catcher Clark to the shortstop Leslie, the former High Wheeler, and Josh Leslie tags out the diving Skinner, so 2-6 on the caught stealing. So just like that, 2 out of nobody on. So mentioned Skinner, 4th in the league in steals, coming in at 38, but caught stealing for the 13th time this year now. Now out of the windup, St. Pierre with nobody on the 2-2. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Foul tipped in the glove of the catcher Clark. And Blackford is out for a strikeout for St. Pierre. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on with 1 from Davis. No score. Oakland and Yolo on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. On we go to the top half of the second inning. So far, nothing between these two really good teams, Yolo and Oakland. And a man who had a really good series against Yolo back in late June leads it off, and that's Brett Barrera, who did so in that series with Idaho Falls. Cameron Repetti's pitch, and Barrera, the Stanford alum, looks outside, ball one. And the count is a 1 ball and no strikes. It's Barrera, Clark, and Wilmer, middle third of the order, the 1-0. And Barrera swings, and he jammed with this one, pokes it towards second. Easy opportunity for Leday, and the second baseman in the middle of the base path up with the ball, throws to Gonzalez at first. Barrera is out, 1 down. Barrera, 6-game series with Idaho Falls against Yolo. As they said, back in late June, Barrera was 16 for 25. He hit .640 against the High Wheelers. Had 2 homers and 7 RBIs. 3 of those hits was off Repetti. Now it's Trip Clark who bats. And his first at bat ever at this ballpark. Takes a strike on the inside corner. No balls and a strike. Clark made his pro debut against Yolo in late July in Oakland as he misses outside, ball one. And the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike. Nothing, top of the second. And the pitch, and Clark swings, and he flies one high and foul down the left side. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Clark, who went to Angelo State University, a good Division II program in San Angelo, Texas. Swings here. Tapper up along third, and that'll kick foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No score, top of the second. Yolo, Oakland. Clark, 296 in his 32 games with the Ballers. 2 homers, and he has 16 runs batted in. Nothing, top of the second. Yolo and Oakland. With Stephen Wilmer on deck. Facing the right-hander and Cameron Repetti, who has pitched extremely well of late, the 1-2, and Clark fouls into the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Repetti, 19th appearance this year, his 16th as a starter. But it's what he's done lately is really indicative of the way the team and the pitching staff has been. The 1-2 to Clark, and he flies one high to left field. Glancy broke back, now comes in, and in the sun, the left fielder David Glancy makes the catch. 2 out, as Repetti has set down the first 5 ballers to see him today. 2 out, top of the second. Yolo nothing, Oakland nothing. And now the right fielder Stephen Wilmer comes up. But Repetti, in his last 3 starts, is 2-1, but within that time has 2 complete games, and his ERA over those 3 starts, 0.75. Wilmer swings, pops this one up, shallow center, and out goes the shortstop Marine with his back toward home plate to make the catch. Marine had the angle. He went back for it, skinned to the center fielder, came in, but the shortstop in Braylon Marine made the catch. Wilmer in 24 games with Oakland since coming over from Rocky Mountain, 289 with 3 homers and 15 RBIs. 2 perfect innings for Repetti. We go to the bottom of the second. Nothing, Yolo and Oakland on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. We move on to the bottom of the second inning. Still a bunch of zeros up there. Yolo nothing and Oakland nothing. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. And Jose Gonzalez leads it off for the Yolo High Whalers against Zach St. Pierre. The first pitch on the way to Jose is up and away, ball 1-0. So Jose Gonzalez just seems like cruising right along. And toward the end of the regular season, the 1-0 pitch, up and away, ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes. Gonzalez, 5th in the league in hitting at .375. 3 for 4 the other night, including a home run, the 2-0 pitch. And he looks at a strike on the inside corner, 2-1. So .375 average for Jose, a team-high 19 homers, and a team-high 81 RBIs. Full windup by St. Pierre in the 2-1, and that's cued foul up along third, 2-2. So Gonzalez now 36 straight games in which he has reached base safely. The windup in the 2-2 pitch to Jose. Swing and a miss, high fastball, strike 3. And in the battle of North Texas against Southeast Texas, St. Pierre, the Dallas area product, gets Gonzalez, so 1 out. And now the designated hitter, Alejandro Figueiredo, will dig in. Again, the last time Gonzalez did not reach base, you got to go back to July 20th, the game here against Oakland, a game in which, you got it, St. Pierre started. So now it's Figueiredo who digs in, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. And the count is at no balls and 1 strike to Figueiredo. 1 for 1 the other night, and that one was a big one, a pinch hit home run leading off the 9th inning. The 0-1 pitch on the way, and Figueiredo takes up and in from St. Pierre, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, that was the game. We're going back to the last time Gonzalez did not reach base. The last game he didn't reach base was 0 for 4 July 20th against St. Pierre, the 1-1, and Figueiredo pops this one up. First base side of the diamond. It's Barrera, the first baseman, to his right, and on the lip of the grass makes the catch. He almost went halfway between first and second to make the play there, and Figueiredo is out 2 down. But, specifically, Gonzalez was 0 for 3 against St. Pierre, 0 for 4 overall in that game, but game that was won on the knockout round by Oakland when Jake Dally, who's a relief pitcher, they sent him up to hit a home run, and he did, and he won the knockout round. Now it's Tanner Smith. He takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Well, Tanner, a productive series in Boise. A couple of home runs in that set. Nothing here in the 0-1 from St. Pierre, outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. 287 for Smith, 12 homers, 49 RBIs. A windup in the 1-1, and Tanner fouls one at the plate, strike 2. And the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count to Smith. And I think I had said 2 home runs in that series. Actually, I had 3 home runs in that series at Boise. Solo homer the other night, and then he had a 2-homer game on August 30th. He's got 12 overall this year. I just mentioned that. The 1-2, that's very high, ball 2 from St. Pierre. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. No score, bottom of the second. Neither side with a hit. So 2-2 the count. The full windup and the pitch. And that's outside to Smith, ball 3, 3-2. Guy who homered in back-to-back games against Oakland as far back as June 7th and June 8th. A windup in the payoff pitch. And Smith swings, fouls onto the backstop. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2. And again the pitch, and that's low, ball 4. So Smith will head down to first base. St. Pierre did not appear in either of those games that Smith homered in Oakland back in June. And now it's David Glancy who bats. It's the first walk issued by Max St. Pierre, or Zach St. Pierre. I don't know why I keep calling him Max. Zach St. Pierre. So Smith at first. And Tanner's got good speed. Smith, 11 steals. He's been caught 4 times. Now David Glancy comes up. 299, 2 homers, 14 RBIs. And the pitch to Glancy outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball. And no strikes to Glancy. And St. Pierre deals the 1-0, and that's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Glancy 0 for 3 the other night. Did have 3 RBIs against Boise last Friday, the 1-1. And he takes a big swing, and he pops this one up foul toward the screen, strike 2. And the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Glancy, who made his pro debut against Oakland right here on July 25th. Got a pinch double in his first pro at bat. Nothing, bottom of the second. Smith, a small lead, being held on by Barrera. And the 1-2 on the way, and Glancy swings, and he flies this one toward center. Sends Carson going back, still going back, and this ball is over his head. 1 hop over the wall. That's a tough break for the High Wheelers. Wow. That's a ground rule double. There is no doubt Smith was going to score there, folks. No doubt. Smith with good speed, off on contact from first base. That ball was hit to the deepest part of the ballpark, which is 410 feet. And I guess I could say that's the way the ball bounces sometimes. And it bounced over the wall, but that is the rule. 2 bases for everybody on a ground rule double. So right as I had mentioned that Glancy had hit a double in his first pro at bat against Oakland, he does that here. So it's second and third. And now Bobby Leday, who I tried to ask Billy Horton this, but Leday, who we normally see batting third or generally up in the lineup, but he is batting 8th this afternoon. And the pitch on the way, and that is low ball 1-1. By the way, the double by Glancy, it's the first hit for Yolo. So Leday hitting 8th this afternoon, first time he's hit 8th this year. But it's a run-producing, well, it's always a run-producing opportunity, but even more so, second and third. And the 1-0 to Bobby, outside ball 2. 2-0. 322 for Leday, 15 home runs, and he has 74 RBIs. With Angel Mendoza on deck. Now, first base is open. Mendoza certainly has struggled offensively this year, but the 2-0 on the way, and Leday swings, grounder foul up along first. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Leday 0 for 3 the other night. In the 36 official at-bats he had against Boise, he was 9 for 36, so it's a 250 clip. Recently had a 10-game hitting streak snapped for Bobby. Smith's at third, Glancy's at second, the 2-1. And Leday swings, drives one toward right center field. That's going to get down, and that ball will stay in the ballpark. Smith scores, Glancy scores. Leday will take a turnaround second. He will stop there with a 2-out, 2-run, stand-up double. And it's 2-0 Yolo in the bottom of the second inning. Well, even if that ball, which really had no chance of bouncing over the fence, but that would have scored 2 no matter what. So they get 2 runs here. RBIs for Leday, now 75 and 76. Second on the club behind Jose Gonzalez is 81. Well, how about let's go back to and I know the inning's not over, but let's go back to the 2-out plate appearance by Tanner Smith. He had to work a full count walk, and that certainly set the table for this. Now it's Mendoza, and he takes high from St. Pierre, ball 1-0. 172 for Mendoza. He has 3 homers, 21 RBIs. Eventually, by the way, it was Carson in center who got to that ball, hit toward right center. The 1-0, and Mendoza fouls one at the plate. Strike 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. So 2-0 Yolo. Bottom of the second inning. Talking about the ground rule double by Glancy, and I referenced the 410-foot marker being the deepest part of the ballpark. 310 down the lines here at Dobbins Stadium. 410 to straightaway center, 10-foot wall all the way around. Scoreboard here is out in right center field. Now the count to Mendoza is at a ball and a strike. But Highwheelers able to get on the board first here this afternoon against their California rival in the Oakland Ballers. Oakland leads the series 16-14. Only appropriate that it comes down to last week between these two. The 1-1, low ball 2, 2-1. Oakland's going to challenge that. And it's been confirmed a ball. So the count is now at 3 balls and a strike. So 3 balls and 1 strike the count to Mendoza, who had a double and triple in one of the games, meaning it was the same game, but in one of the games in Boise. Was 8 for 31 against the Hawks overall, at 258 against them this year. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch, and a breaking ball that drops in nicely for a strike on the outside corner, 2-2. I talked to Mendoza about the triple he had a few nights ago in Boise. He has 2 triples this year. Both have come against Boise. He said, Angel, you got to mix in your triples against other teams as well. He goes, yeah, I definitely have to save some for this series. The 2-2 goes down for that one and comes up empty, strike 3, breaking pitch there. And he is out. 3rd strikeout for St. Pierre. 2-out walk to Smith. Glancy a ground rule double, and Lede a 2-run double. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man stranded. We go to the 3rd. Yolo 2 and Oakland nothing on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. On we go to the top half of the 3rd inning. It is 2-0. Yolo leading Oakland. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. So after today, at 4 o'clock start tomorrow, 4 o'clock Thursday, 4 o'clock Friday, 1:05 p.m. on Saturday, 1:05 p.m. on Sunday to conclude the regular season. And then who knows after that? Should be fun. We'll figure it all out in a few days. Jalen Smith leaves it off to face Cameron Rapetti. Rapetti, that is, a 2-0 lead with which to work. And the first pitch to Smith. And he looks down the middle, strike 1. And the count's of no balls and a strike. So it's Smith, Burkell, and Leslie to face the pitcher and Rapetti as the 0-1 on the way is outside, ball 1. And the count's of 1 ball and 1 strike. Jalen Smith bats at .262. He has 10 home runs, 38 RBIs, and he swings here and drives 1 foul left side. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Smith, who is 27 years old, out of the Atlanta area, a guy we've seen all year. The 1-2, and he checks his swing, foul ball to the backstop. So 1-2 the count to Smith, the DH tonight, but a guy we've seen a lot at second base this year. We've seen a little bit in the outfield. Sporting the gold high tops. 1-2. Rapetti three-quarter windup and the pitch. And Smith drives one foul down the left field side. We'll try it again at 1-2. Oakland in the forest green tops tonight, or today for that matter. The 1-2. Smith ground ball up the middle, and that'll bounce through into center, a base hit. So Jalen Smith becomes the first Ballers base runner this afternoon as the center fielder Skinner gets the ball in towards second. 2-0 Yolo, and now Brad Burkell comes up. So Smith at first base, 13 steals this year. He's been caught twice. Anyway, Ballers in the forest green uniforms. Oakland, or Ballers I should say, spelled across the front in gold. Going with the gray pants, the green cap. Letter B on the cap. Now Burkell swings, and the tapper out in front of the mound. Rapetti's going to go to second. They get one there. They get the force on the sliding Smith. Marine, the shortstop, there to take the throw. So 1-6 on the force at second. So as I said, Smith out, sliding into second base. So one down. Burkell becomes the runner at first. 2-0 Yolo, top of the third inning. And now the former High Wheeler and Josh Leslie comes up. 254 in an Oakland uniform for Leslie. 4 homers, 22 RBIs. There goes Burkell, and on the hit and run, Leslie flies this one high into the sun and left. Glancy to his left, waiting for the baseball, and he reaches above his black cap to make the catch. And Leslie is retired. 2 out. Burkell back to first. It is 2-0 in favor of Yolo. Bottom of the second inning. I'm sorry, top of the third inning. Top of the third. And now for the second time this afternoon, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the center fielder, Brett Carson. Now Burkell at first, 12 steals. He's been caught twice. Carson hit a comebacker to the pitcher, Rapetti, to open the ball game. And the pitch to Carson, swats one high and foul left side, 0-1. So I mentioned Oakland in the green tops and the gray pants. Yolo, the home whites today. High Wheelers in black spelled in front of the white shirt. Again, white pants. Gold number on both sides of the shirt. High Wheelers in black with gold trim spelled across the front of the shirt. Black cap, gold bill. The 0-1 on the way is a strike called on the outside corner to Carson. And the count moves to 0-2. With Dante Stewart on deck. 2-0 in favor of Yolo. We are in the top of the third inning. Mentioned Rapetti over his last 3 starts coming into today, 0.75 ERA with 20 strikeouts and 2 complete games within those 3. Outfield around to the left, the 0-2, and that's low ball 1. 1-2. Rapetti this year against Oakland has a 4-1 record, so 4 of his 7 wins have come against the Ballers. As the 1-2 here to Carson, and that's fly toward the line and left. Glancy to his right, and he'll be there with the shades on in fair territory to make the catch. So Carson flies to left, and Oakland is done in the third. 1 hit, 1 left. After 2.5 innings, it is 2-0. The Yolo High Wheelers out in front over the Oakland Ballers on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. On we go to the bottom of the third inning this afternoon from Davis, California. 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Yolo. No runs hit, no errors for Oakland. Top of the Yolo order for the second time. It's the center fielder, Braylon Skinner, who leads it off. And the first pitch from Zach St. Pierre is low outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. It's Skinner, Marine, and Blackford here in the bottom of the third inning. 2-0 High Wheelers in the 1-0. And that's swung on, and that's driven down the right field side, foul toward the Yolo bullpen by Skinner. Ball and a strike. Brayland was hit with a 2-strike pitch in the bottom of the first, but then eventually was caught stealing, meaning caught stealing second. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count from St. Pierre. Full windup in the 1-1, and that swung on and tapped foul just to the right-handed batter's box side of the home plate. And the count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Braylon Skinner. So we're talking about this series, and there's obviously, a lot of playoff talk. The 1-2, and that floats high, ball 2. And the count is now at 2 balls and 2 strikes with a 2-0 Yolo lead. Bottom of the third. I'll wind up in the 2-2. Up and in, ball 3. 3-2. So it is possible Oakland could clinch a spot today with a win. Some other things have to happen. Other games, the kick on the 3-2. Way outside, ball 4, leadoff walk. So second time Skinner's been on. Second walk allowed by St. Pierre. 2-0 Yolo. Bottom of the third inning, and now the shortstop, Braylon Marine, will come to the plate. Yolo cannot clinch today. Even with a Yolo win and a Boise loss, I define clinching as clinching a playoff spot. I don't mean clinching first place, but again, all you need to do is finish either first or second to get a playoff spot. Check swing, foul ball by Marine, right side, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2-0. The High Wheelers lead the Ballers. Bottom of the third inning. Yolo has a 4-game second-place lead over Boise with 6 games to go in the regular season for everybody. No balls and a strike, and the pitch, and Marine swings, and he pops this one up foul, first base side, and that'll reach the seats back of the Yolo dugout. 0-2 is the count. 2-0 Yolo leads Oakland. Bottom of the third. But the magic number to clinch a playoff spot for Yolo is at 3. So even if Yolo wins today and Boise loses, Boise is playing at Great Falls this week. Yolo still would not clinch today. 0-2 the count. And the pitch, and that's very high, ball 1 from St. Pierre. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But you'd have to think that the math is pretty good for both these teams to clinch playoff spot in the next couple of days. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Skinner again at first. And the pitch to Marine, and he made a motion and did not go around. Ball 2. 2-2. But again, I think only appropriate. These two teams, both expansion teams, both making big news over the winter. The revitalization of pro baseball in Oakland. Revitalization of Raimondi Park. The 2-2. And Marine swings, line drive, center field, base hit. Skinner will stop at second as the center fielder Carson gets the ball in towards second. Marine is single. And it's first and second, so Braylon Marine again, second in the league in hitting, coming in at .390. We'll add to that. And now it's Braden Blackford who bats. He struck out swinging in the first inning. 3 hits for Yolo, 2-0 Yolo leading Oakland. Bottom of the third. So runners lead at first and second. Outfield medium depth and straight away, and the pitch, and Blackford runs up to bunt. And I think his intent there wasn't necessarily to sacrifice. I think he was just trying to push one towards second, but instead he pushed it toward the backstop. So 0-1 the count. Braden again a strikeout victim swinging in the first inning. Once in a while we've seen Braden lay one down, a guy that we can see him hit the ball a long way. We can see him play some small ball. See what happens here with one strike. And the 0-1, and swings away and grounds one foul, first base side, strike two. No balls, two strikes, 2-0 Yolo leading Oakland. Bottom of the third inning. But you have Oakland and then obviously Yolo with the first time this town of Davis, city of Davis, has ever had professional baseball. Talking about a I-80 get-together, a rivalry. You know, these teams are going to meet 36 times in the regular season. Here we are. It's come down to 6 regular season games, and these teams in the second half are only separated by 1 game. 0-2 the count. 2 on, nobody out. And the pitch, and Blackford swinging, missing a breaking ball. Strike 3, and he is down on strike swinging for the second time. 4th strikeout for St. Pierre, who really set that at bat up with the first pitch, I thought, or Blackford did, whichever way you want to look at it. Blackford trying to bunt and was quickly behind at 0-1, and that just forced, obviously, the upper hand there. The pitcher, St. Pierre, certainly when it got to 0-2. So now Gonzalez, he struck out swinging in the second inning. Skinner's at second, Marine's at first. St. Pierre looks back at second and the pitch, and Jose takes, and that's outside, ball 1. And that moves the count to 1-0. So Skinner walked, he's at second. Marine singled, he's at first. 1 ball, no strikes to Gonzalez. And Jose swings and fouls one to the screen, left side, strike 2, 1-2. Again, Gonzalez, 36 straight games in which he's reached base safely. We already mentioned the last time he didn't reach base safely was the game St. Pierre started right here on July 20th. The 1-1, and that's fouled to the screen, strike 2, 1-2. How about Gonzalez? Mentioned, leads the team in RBIs with 81. In the 12 games against Boise, Gonzalez had 16 RBIs over that dozen. 8 RBIs against Boise here, and then went to Boise at 8 RBIs there. Jose swings here, and he pops this one up, foul third base way. And the count holds at 1-2. Gonzalez's 7-game hitting streak was snapped August 27th at Boise, and since then he's hit safely in his last 5 games. And talked about the other night, he was 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored, a double, and 4 RBIs. And that Yolo victory. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Gonzalez. And the runners go, and Jose swings, and he lines one toward center. Carson going back. This ball's over his head. The ball's going to land on the warning track. Skinner scores. Marine is going to be waved to the plate. Both will score standing up. It is now 4-0 in favor of Yolo here in the bottom half of the third inning. Gonzalez now with a team-high 83 RBIs. Now 37 straight games in which he's reached base safely. So give him a 2-run double to center. So today it's been a 2-run double for Leday. Now a 2-run double for Gonzalez. Leday's hit in the second. Gonzalez hit obviously here in the third. A walk has set up both run-producing opportunities for Yolo today. The 2-out walk to Smith in the second. And Skinner the leadoff walk here in the third. Now it's Figueiredo, 4-0 Yolo. And Alejandro rips this one down the left field side. That's going to roll for a while. That ball's going to go all the way to the base of the 10-foot wall. In to score easily from second is Gonzalez. And trading places with him is Figueiredo as a throw from left fielder Martinez comes in toward the second baseman Stewart. Now 5-0 High Wheelers in the bottom half of the third. So 5 runs tonight for Yolo. 5 runs today for Yolo. All have been delivered on doubles. So 5-0 now High Wheelers. Figueiredo, that's his 26th RBI as a member of the High Wheelers. Still just 1 out. And the pitching coach, Jim Diedrich, will come out and settle down St. Pierre. 5-0 now Yolo. Talking about the win the other night by the High Wheelers, and I failed to mention the score, was a 10-4 score on Sunday night in Boise. Yolo scored 41 runs in that series, and they were shut out the first game of the series. So they really scored 41 runs over a 5-game span. They averaged just over 8 runs a game in that series in Boise, which included a 17-hit game. Yolo had 69 hits in that series in Boise. Now turn, throw back to second, and Figueiredo's been picked off. Shortstop Leslie sneaked in behind him, and Figueiredo has been picked off, so he goes from, I don't want to quite use the word hero after an RBI double, but goes from real good to real bad. 1-6 on the pickoff. Pitcher St. Pierre to the shortstop Leslie, 2 out. And now Tanner Smith bats with nobody on. And he pops this one up foul right side, strike 1-0-1. And yeah, I know it's 5-0 Yolo. I realize that. Bottom of the third inning, but obviously against a really, really good team in Oakland, every run and opportunity means so much, especially now this time of year. Not that it doesn't mean anything in May, but it's talked about more. The 0-1 to Smith, tapped toward third. Grabbed on the dirt and bobbled on the dirt by Burkell, and his throw way too late. No chance to get the batter runner in Smith. Threw anyway to Barrera at first, and Smith will be safe on an error. So Chad charged Brad Burkell with an error at third. First error for either side. And now David Glancy comes up. Glancy doubled in the second inning. Highwheelers, 4 of the 5 hits tonight have been doubles. So Glancy, one of those doubles. He's 1 for 1 with a run scored. And the pitch on the way to Glancy. And he drives this one deep down the left field line toward the corner. And this ball is gone. It's a 2-run homer for David Glancy. It is now 7-0 Highwheelers in the bottom of the third. So Glancy, a home run. That's his third professionally. RBI's 15 and 16. And that is going to be all for St. Pierre. That's the first home run hit by Glancy at this ballpark. His other 2 homers were in the same game at Grand Junction. So Glancy, a 2-run clout, now 2 for 2 today. 7-0 Yolo. And as I said, that is all for St. Pierre. So we'll step out. Bottom of the third inning with the score. Yolo 7 and Oakland nothing on YouTube Live. The new pitcher for the Oakland Ballers, a man we saw earlier this year with Rocky Mountain, and that is the right-hander Kyle Piasek, who Again, comes in to do the pitching. 7-0 Yolo. Bottom half of the third inning. Piaszczek, capital Pijaszek. No wins, no losses. Fifth appearance with Oakland. All out of the bullpen. ERA at 12.46, but this is his second team this year in the Pioneer League. Again, coming over in a trade from Rocky Mountain a little over a month ago. Bobby Leday digs in, and Piaszczek's first pitch is low ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Piaszczek, 5'11", 180 pounds. He's 22 years old. From the western part of Michigan, Grand Blanc, Michigan. As Leday, a check swing, foul to the screen. A ball and a strike. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. 1 ball and 1 strike to count with 2 out. It is 7-0 Yolo. Leday got the Highwheelers on the board with that 2-run second inning double. And he takes a strike on the outside corner. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. 1-2 the count. 7-0 favor the Highwheelers, and the 1-2 pitch, and that is high ball 2. So the count moves now to 2 balls and 2 strikes to Leday. And the pitch foul to the backstop. The count holds it. 2 balls and 2 strikes, so 7-0 Yolo. Bottom half of the third. There's the kick in the 2-2, and that's low ball 3 from Piaszczek. I have to meet Kyle. I have to find out how many other Piaszczeks there are in the United States. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The kick and the payoff. Low and in ball 4, so Leday draws a walk. So third straight 2-out batter to reach. And now it's the catcher, Angel Mendoza. Face Piaszczek. Final line on Oakland starter Zach St. Pierre, 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 6 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned. Walked 2, struck out 4, allowed a home run. So now it's Mendoza again, the 9th man to bat on the inning. And the pitch to Angel, and he drives this one toward left. Martinez to his left, and the left fielder was playing shallow. Makes the catch. Skinner, the leadoff walk. Gonzalez, a 2-run double. Figueredo, an RBI double. Glancy, the 2-run homer. 5 more runs for Yolo. 4 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. We go to the 4th inning. It is 7-0. Yolo leading Oakland on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. We go to the fourth inning, 7-0 Yolo, and Dante Stewart, first pitch, ground ball, right field, base hit. Well, big hole between the first baseman Gonzalez and the second baseman Leday. And Dante Stewart opens the fourth inning with a single to right. So he is 1 for 2. So Stewart, Martinez, and Barrera, 2, 3, and 4 to face Cam and Repetti. Second hit now for the Ballers. So Stewart at first being held on by Gonzalez. 7-0 Yolo. And now Noah Martinez bats, and he swings and misses at a fastball, strike one from Repetti. No balls and 1 strike. 7-6-0 for the High Wheelers. 0-2-1 for the Ballers. Repetti's lone strikeout, courtesy of Martinez, as Noah takes a breaking ball at the knee, strike 2. And the count is now at no balls and 2 strikes. Third baseman Blackford even with a bag and off the line. And the 0-2 pitch, swing, and a tap around in front of the mound. Repetti has 1 play, and that's to Gonzalez at first. Certainly not hard enough to try and get the runner at second. And you know what? You got a 7-run lead. No need to get the runner at second base there. Just get the shot at first. Nice job by Repetti on all counts there. So Stewart up to second base, 1 out. And now the first baseman, Brett Barrera, comes up. He grounded to second base in the second inning. 7-0 Yolo, top half of the fourth. As Repetti delivers, and Barrera takes a breaking ball for a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike from Repetti. Again, the opening night starter here back on May 21st. 4 and a 2-seam fastball. Cutter, curveball, and a changeup as Barrera big swing and a miss at a fastball, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Repetti, pitcher of the week for his efforts 2 weeks ago for the week ending August 25th. Large reason of Repetti being named Pioneer League Pitcher of the Week was his 3-hit complete game shutout over Boise on August 22nd. Allowed 2 walks, struck out 4 in that game. Stewart at second, the 0-2 to Barrera. Ground ball foul up along third. And the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes with a 7-0 Yolo lead over Oakland. Top half of the fourth. So Repetti coming into today, mentioned 4th in the league in ERA at 4.58 and 9th in the league in strikeouts with 88. He kicks in the 0-2. And Barrera swings, rips this one down the left field side. That's going to be in for likely extra bases. Rounding third is Stewart. He will score. And Barrera trades places with him with a stand-up RBI double. And it is 7-1 now in favor of Yolo. So the ghost of Brett Barrera, whether it be in an Idaho Falls uniform or now in an Oakland uniform, once again gets to the High Wheelers. First time Barrera, at least professionally, he's ever played here. Now, Barrera played at Stanford. I don't know if Stanford might have played here against Davis. I don't know. But anyway, Barrera has himself an RBI double. So he is at second base. So now Trip Clark comes up. So 7-1 now in favor of the High Wheelers, top of the fourth. And the pitch to Clark is a strike on the inner half. So no balls and 1 strike. Barrera, that's his now 20th RBI already as a Oakland baller. The 0-1. And that is low and in, and that hit him. So anyway, I saw the ball go to the backstop, I'm thinking, well, why didn't Barrera go to third? But that's because the ball apparently hit Barrera and went to the screen. So it'll be a hit by pitch. And Trip Clark hit with a pitch. Barrera stays at second. Trip Clark hit with a pitch, so Clark down to first. And now it's first and second with a 7-1 advantage for the Yolo High Wheelers. Top of the fourth inning, and now Stephen Wilmer digs in. He popped a shortstop in the second inning. Outfield medium depth and straight away. And Repetti deals, and that's slow outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. Now we know this Oakland offense certainly potent, and realize it's a 6-run lead, but you got to be careful here as the pitch on the way to Wilmer, and that is grounded foul up along first, strike 1. And the count's at a ball and a strike. So we mentioned Oakland's got some new faces, new yet old faces, since these two teams last met back on July 27th. Barrera faced Yolo with Idaho Falls. Wilmer and Carson faced Yolo when they were here against Rocky Mountain, or here with Rocky Mountain. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. 7-1 Yolo, and Wilmer is swinging a foul to the backstop, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Wilmer and Carson have already played at this ballpark. This is really their 3rd trip here now, after having 2 trips with Rocky Mountain and now 1 with Oakland. Talked about Barrera with Idaho Falls. The Chuckers did not come here, so it's Barrera's first trip here. The 1-2 in the dirt ball 2. 2-2. So you look at the Oakland lineup today. You got two former Rocky Mountain players, a former Idaho Falls player, and a former High Wheeler, Josh Leslie, who began the year with Yolo. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count with 1 out. High Wheelers 7, Ballers 1. Top of the 4th inning. And the 2-2 pitch. And Wilmer swings, chops one towards second, charged and gloved by Leday. He'll throw from the grass, and the ball gets away from the first baseman Gonzalez, and everybody is safe. Barrera will score. It'll be an error, a throwing error on the second baseman Leday. No RBI. So Barrera scores from second. Clark goes first to third. Wilmer is safe at first. So not a good throw from Leday. And it is now 7-2 in favor of the High Wheelers. Still only 1 out. That's a ball that certainly should have been 1 out made, but instead no outs were made on it. And now Jalen Smith bats with runners at the corners. And he swings and he pops this one up. Leday another chance here, catching that ball just to the second base side of the second base bag. So Smith pops to second. He's now 1 for 2. 2 out. And a 7-2 Yolo lead. And now the third baseman, Brad Burkell, digs in. So now it's Brad Burkell who comes to the plate, and he takes low outside, ball 1. And the count moves to 1 ball and no strikes to Burkell, who reached on a force play back in the 3rd inning. So runners at the corners, and the pitch, and that's outside from Rapetti, ball 2. And the count moves now to 2 balls and no strikes to Burkell, who's been here all year. And we've seen play third, and we've seen play second. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. Clark's at third, Wilmer's at first. And Burkell takes, that's very high, ball 3. So that moves now to 3 balls and no strikes to Burkell, who has 10 home runs this year. I want to say he's got 3 or 4 against Yolo this season. The kick on the 3-0, and that's down the middle. The get me over strike call on 3-0. So now 3 balls and a strike from Rapetti, who played 3 seasons at Cal State Fullerton, and then went on to play his graduate year at the NAIA level. The 3-1, swing and a miss, fastball in the outer half, strike 2, 3-2. Played at Georgia Gwinnett College near Atlanta. So 3-2 the count with 2 out. Clark at third. Wilmer ready to go from first. Wilmer goes, and Burkell looks at strike 3. Now, it was he's going to challenge that. And 3-2 pitch was overturned to ball 4. So, tough break there for the High Wheelers. Oakland wins that challenge. That loads the bases. So Clark holds at third. Wilmer moves to second on the walk. Burkell to first. And now that keeps the inning going. And one swing of Leslie's bat here could be a 1-run game. It's 7-2 Yolo. Bags full, top of the fourth, and now Rapetti will go out of the windup, and Leslie swings and hits one foul up along third, strike one. And the count's at no balls and a strike to Leslie. And Leslie, who grew up in central Wisconsin, went to college in Lake Charles, Louisiana, McNeese State. And began the year with the High Wheelers, the 0-1. And that goes all the way to the backstop. And coming in from third is Clark. He will score with a slide. And the Ballers chipping away. It is now 7-3 in favor of the High Wheelers. Wild pitch there, charged to Rapetti. So Clark scores. Wilmer goes to third. Burkell to second. So now 7-3 in favor of Yolo. Count to Leslie is a ball and a strike. So not only is another run in, but now no force available anywhere. The 1-1. Josh, a big swing and miss at a fastball from Rapetti, strike two. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So some tough breaks here in this inning for the High Wheelers. The kick on the 1-2 and a swing and a miss. High fastball, foul tipped in the glove of the catcher Mendoza, strike three. And Leslie is out. Second strikeout for Rapetti, but Oakland creeping back into it, scoring 3 times. So 3 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 2 left after 3.5 innings. 7-3. The Yolo High Wheelers out in front over the Oakland Ballers on YouTube Live. Well, things a little tighter now as we go on to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It is 7-3, Yolo leading Oakland. Top of the Yolo order for the third time now for the center fielder, Braylon Skinner. And the first pitch is outside, ball 1 from Cal Pajasic. 1 ball, no strikes, so it's Skinner, Marine, and Blackford. Same 3 that got that 5-run third inning going for the High Wheelers. As the 1-0 pitch is outside for a ball. And the count moves now to 2-0. Skinner's been on base twice safely without official at bat. He's been hit with a pitch. He's walked and scored. The count is actually at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Skinner takes strike 2 on the outer half. So the count's now at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Skinner. 7 runs, 6 hits, an error for Yolo. 3-1 for Oakland. Each team with an error. The 1-2, outside, ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. So 2-2 the count from Pajasic. 7-3 High Wheelers. And the pitch. And that runs inside, ball 3. So 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the kick and the payoff. And Skinner a foul to the backstop. So 3 balls and 2 strikes from Pajasic. Mitchell grew up in the western part of Michigan, played his college baseball at the University of Toledo. The 3-2, way outside, ball 4. So Skinner, third time he's reached base safely, and he still doesn't have an official at bat. Hit with a pitch and now 2 walks. So Skinner, and still fourth in the league in steals with 38. He is at first base, so now Braylon Marine, who took part in that 5-run third with a single and a run scored, he will bat. And yeah, the High Wheelers do have a 4-run lead, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind a couple of runs back. So Skinner at first, being held on by Barrera. And the pitch from the set. And Marine, a high pop-up foul, right side, strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike to count. Pajasic spent 4 years at Toledo, including this year. So this past spring was his final college season with the Rockets. This year with Toledo was 4-2 in 24 games, 1 as a starter, a couple of saves, and a 3.69 ERA. Kyle Pajasic, no balls, 1 strike to Braylon Marine. There goes Skinner, and Marine a pop-up foul again right side. So no balls and 2 strikes to count from Kyle Pajasic. Now he was, again, part of that trade from Rocky Mountain. It was Pajasic, Stephen Wilmer, and Brett Carson coming over. The 0-2 to Marine, and he flies this one towards center. Carson to his right in the sun, and the center fielder Brett Carson makes the catch. And Marine is out. 1 down. Skinner back to first base. It is 7-3 in favor of Yolo over Oakland. We are in the 4th inning. Bottom of the 4th. And now it's the third baseman, Braden Blackford, who comes up. And then it was Austin Davis and Trevor Halsema, a couple of outfielders who were sent to Rocky Mountain in that 5-player deal. And the first time that Davis and Halsema, their first games with Rocky Mountain, well, were against Yolo when we were there about a month ago. So now it's Blackford. There goes Skinner. Blackford takes a strike throw to second base, is offline, and Skinner dives in safely. Throw was taken by the shortstop, Leslie, just a pinch to the shortstop side of the second base bag. So Skinner, who was caught stealing in the first inning, makes up for that with his now 39th steal this year. And the count is a no balls and 1 strike. Yolo 7, Oakland 3. Bottom half of the 4th. Now the count at no balls and 1 strike from Pajasic out of Grand Blanc, Michigan. I don't believe I've ever been to Grand Blanc, Michigan. I have been to the University of Toledo, though. Not for baseball, but for basketball. 0-1 the count. 7-3 Yolo. Skinner at second, and Blackford swings, and he flies this one to center, sends Carson back a few steps, still in the sun, makes the catch. Skinner tags from second. He is on his way to third. He'll make it safely standing up as the throw taken on 1 hop just back of the third base bag by the third baseman Burkell. So 2 out, not a ton of difference being at third with 2 out or at second with 2 out, but obviously you're a little closer to the plate. And now Jose Gonzalez bats. He is 1 for 2 with a 2-run double and a run scored in that 5-run third. The High Wheelers have had some 2-out run-producing hits up in Boise. Will likely be in need of one right here. As Pajasic delivers, and Gonzalez fouls this one to the backstop. Oh, and when I say likely be in need, likely to get a run home, they would need a hit here. No balls and 1 strike to count to Jose Gonzalez. Gonzalez now 18 RBIs over his last 13 games. The kick in the 0-1. And that's outside for a ball to Gonzalez. So 1 ball and 1 strike with the designated hitter and Alejandro Figueiredo waiting on deck. Outfield around to the left. Big hole in right center. The 1-1. Gonzalez drives one foul down the left field side. Strike 2. And the count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes. With Skinner, whose white uniform really isn't white right now. It's all covered in dirt after diving into second. But he leads at third in foul ground. And Pajacic's 1-2. And Gonzalez swings and taps this one to first. That's gloved near the bag by Barrera, and he'll step on the base for the unassisted out. So Skinner stranded at third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the 5th, 7-3. Yolo leads Oakland on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. On we go to the top half of the 5th inning. It is a 7-3 advantage for the Yolo High Wheelers over the Oakland Ballers. This is Doug Greenwald. You're listening to the Yolo High Wheelers on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. And the first pitch to Brett Carson leading off. Ground ball, second base, right at Bobby Leday. Up with a baseball, and he will throw to Gonzalez at first. And Carson is out on 1 pitch. Top of the Oakland order up for the 3rd time with Carson. So he is now 0 for 3. So 1 out, and now Dante Stewart bats. So Carson, Stewart, Martinez to face Cameron Repetti. 7 runs, 6 hits, an error for Yolo. 3-3-1 for Oakland. Now Stewart, who got that 3-run 4th inning going with a single, and Dante takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Stewart singled and scored in the 3rd, and the 4th, and he takes high for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Stewart, who had just joined Oakland when they were here back in July, the 1-1. And that's reached for and flied high in the air into center field. Skinner back a few steps, and Brayland makes the catch. And Stewart is retired, so quickly 2 out. Top of the 5th inning, again on this sun-filled Tuesday from Davis, California, here in early September. And now the left fielder, and Noah Martinez comes up. He is 0 for 2. He is struck out looking. He's grounded back to the pitcher, and Repetti. And Noah takes, and that's inside ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Third baseman Blackford even with the bag and well off the line. The 1-0 pitch. Martinez looks outside ball 2. And the count moves now to 2 balls and no strikes. So still a ton of daylight here on this Tuesday. The kick of the 2-0, and Martinez swings. It's one right back to the mound, snagged by Repetti up with the baseball. He'll throw from the mound to the first baseman, Gonzalez. And Martinez is out. Second time he's hit one back to the pitcher in Repetti. And Oakland goes in order for the 3rd time. And nice job by Repetti after that hiccup-like 3rd inning, giving up 3 runs. A shutdown inning here on the 5th. So nothing across. Halfway done on this Tuesday. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 5-3. I'm sorry, 7-3. 7-3. Yolo leads Oakland on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Halfway done as we go to the bottom half of the fifth inning in a 7-3 Yolo lead over Oakland. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. And Alejandro Figueiredo to lead it off. It'll be Figueiredo, Smith, and Glancy. 5-6-7 to face Cal Pajasic, whose first pitch to Figueiredo. Ground ball to third, right at Burkell. Up with the ball. And he'll make the coast-to-coast throw over to Barrera at first. And Figueiredo is retired. 1 out. So it's Figueiredo. Well, I just said Figueiredo, Smith, and Glancy. Figueiredo, an RBI double in the third. So now 1 for 3. Pajasic on in relief of Zach St. Pierre. Going to work the first 2 2/3 innings for the Ballers. Now it's Smith, who is 0 for 1. A walk, a couple of runs scored. 7-3 in favor of Yolo. And Tanner Smith takes a breaking ball for a strike on the outside corner. And the count is a no balls and 1 strike to Tanner. Pajasic first base side, kicks and deals, and Smith takes, and that's a strike called on the outer half. So no balls and 2 strikes the count. As Smith looks down at his third base coach, and Billy Horton, who's also the manager. The kick on the 0-2. Outside ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gary Davenport, the first base coach / bench coach. Obviously over on the other side. 1-2 the count. 7-3 Yolo on the pitch. And Smith swings and rolls this one to second base. Easy chance for Stewart up with the baseball, and he'll throw to Barrera at first. And Smith is retired. 2 out. And now it's Glancy, who's 2 for 2. Ground rule double, a 2-run homer, and he has scored twice. 7-3 Yolo leading Oakland. Bottom of the 5th inning. Talking about Billy Horton, and I talked to him after the game on Sunday, and I asked him, I said, High Wheelers have won 16 out of 19. That's rare. I mean, at any level to go 16-3 at one point. As the pitch to Glancy outside, ball 1-0. And he says, the guys are playing excellent right now. They love playing together. They have fun on the field. The kick in the 1-0. And Glancy looks at a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Horton continued. He said they gelled early in the season, have grown together as it's progressed, meaning the season, we all know we still have work to do. And the focus is winning 1 in a row, and that begins today, the 1-1. And that's a strike at the knees to Glancy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think that's most managers' philosophies. I mean, it's about every manager I've worked with will tell you the same thing. Worry about today's game. The kick on the 1-2. Glancy hits this one toward third to his left. Burkell spins around, throws to Barrera at first, who stays on the bag at a stretch toward the right field side at first. Nice play on both ends. And Glancy is out 5-3. And that concludes the fifth, and the High Wheelers go in order for the first time this afternoon. We go to the sixth. It is 7-3. Yolo leading Oakland on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. We go to the top half of the sixth inning, 7-3. The Yolo High Wheelers out in front. Over the Oakland Ballers, Brett Barrera leads it off. Facing Cameron Rapetti, who is out of the lineup, and the pitch. Barrera looks at a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Barrera, Clark, and Wilmer, 4, 5, and 6 to face Rapetti. Barrera part of that 3-run fourth with an RBI double and a run scored. And then the former Yankee farmhand looks outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Barrera. And Rapetti right back. Barrera swings and he flies this one to left. Glancy in a handful of steps, and David Glancy, the left fielder, makes the catch. And Barrera is out. 1 away. Visitors half of the sixth inning. It is 7-3. The Yolo High Wheelers leading. Yolo scored the first 7 runs this afternoon, and now Trip Clark will come to the plate. He is 0 for 1. He's been hit with a pitch, and he has scored. That was in that fourth inning as Rapetti misses outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Rapetti winds and the 1-0, and Clark takes outside for a ball, 2-0. Time before, we obviously mentioned this during the Boise series because it took place during the series in Boise. The games that were played literally in Boise, and what I'm referring. The starting pitching for Yolo was superb. The 2-0. Foul to the screen, strike 1, 2-1. Over the 6 games in Boise, the Yolo starting pitching collectively an ERA of 1.13. Rapetti definitely part of that group. The 2-1, foul to the plate, 2-2. I mean, Rapetti in his last outing at Boise on August 28th. So that was last Thursday. 7 innings, did give up 9 hits, but only 1 run earned. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 6. As Clark drives this one deep down the left field line toward the corner. And this ball is gone. I couldn't tell if that ball had bounced over the wall, but it's a home run just down the left field line for Trip Clark. And it is now 7-4 Yolo on the top of the 6th. Well, the old broadcaster jinx, just talking about how great the starting pitching had been, but Trip Clark, a home run, so now 7-4 High Wheelers, top half of the 6th inning. Clark, that's his 3rd homer, 17th RBI, just cleared that 10-foot wall right over the 310-foot marker. The first pitch to Wilmer, outside 1-0, and the pitch, Wilmer swinging a miss, 1-1. But Billy Horton saying about the pitching in Boise, said it was outstanding. I mean, talking about the starting staff. The 1-1 here, and that's flied toward left. Sends Glancy back, and in front of the track with the shades on, David Glancy, the left fielder, hauls it in. 2 out, top of the 6th inning. Yolo 7, Oakland 4. And now the designated hitter, Jalen Smith, digs in. Horton said the starters were phenomenal in this series, and our bullpen has been on lockdown when they come into the game. And Billy Horton deflected the attention to Yolo pitching coach Jerome Williams. Now it's Smith, and he takes low ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. He says, I'm really proud of the staff and Jerome. He's been doing a great job with that staff. Swing here, ground ball toward short, and a backhand attempt by Marine. Tough time coming up with the ball, and that will go as a base hit. Marine had a long way to go for that ball, and yeah, he muffed it. The ball did go off his glove, but I think even when you consider the speed of Jalen Smith and the fact that Marine had a long way to go to his right, moving his momentum away from first base, proper call made. So Jalen Smith gets credit for an infield single. So 1 on, 2 out, 7-4. Yolo leading Oakland. Top of the 6th inning, and now the third baseman Brad Burkell digs in. Well, anyway, he was talking about the pitching staff and Jerome Williams, and he says, the staff looks up to Jerome. He's a great teacher and communicator. So now it's Burkell, and he takes outside ball 1. And the count moves to 1 ball and no strikes. Although as Yolo, I believe Yolo's challenging that. And it's been overturned to a strike. So instead of 1-0, it's 0-1. Now Burkell on a 3-2 count in that 3-run 4th inning. And even though as the pitch here, swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2. Actually, 1 run did score after it was overturned, but Burkell had initially been called out on strikes in the 4th, challenged the full count pitch, and it was actually a ball, so he drew a walk. The 0-2 to Burkell outside, 1-2. And then obviously they kept the inning going, and then a wild pitch had scored another run there for Oakland. Right now, 7-4 Yolo, top half of the 6th. Smith at first, being held on by Gonzalez, and the pitch to Burkell, high ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Smith, 13 steals this year. He's been caught twice. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. 7-4 High Wheelers and the pitch, and Burkell swings, and he flies this one to right. Smith is there in the shade, and Tanner Smith, he makes the catch. Home run by Clark, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 7-4, Yolo leading Oakland on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports.
And we've got some incredible contestants. We've got Assistant General Manager Rachel, we've got General Manager Troy, and we've got for the very first time, Tyler Peterson, play-by-play commentator from the Ballers. Alrighty, rev your engines, start your motors. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, we're off to a quick start there, Troy. But Rachel again leaves him in the dust. Tyler, what are you doing? He's fine to get the distance right on it. Rachel gets a lot of distance. But Troy, he started to gain a bit of speed. He's catching up here. Tyler is definitely still in Oakland over there in his positioning. But Rachel by an absolute country mile. But can Troy get her? He's coming up quick. Oh, Troy, you've got the wind on your back. Do something, son. And it's Rachel again. She does it. The undisputed champion, Troy in second. And Tyler, we don't have all day. Hurry up, mate. Come on. Make some noise for Tyler Peterson. He's staying on the bike. He's trying to slow the thing down. Tyler Peterson, there he is. And it's Yolo in pole position there, and Oakland in third.
On we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. 7 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Yolo High Wheelers. 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Oakland Ballers. Again, tomorrow we'll start our feed on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports at 4 o'clock. Tomorrow's pitching matchup for Oakland right-hander Justin Kleinsorge and for Yolo right-hander Brandon McPherson. Bobby Leday leads it off, and Kyle Pajasik's first pitch to Leday is a called strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Leday, Mendoza, and then the top of the Yolo order for the center fielder, Braylon Skinner. 7-4 Yolo, and the 0-1 to Leday from Pajasik, and that's a strike called on the inner half. 0-2 the count. Leday got the High Wheelers on the board with a 2-out, 2-run double in the second. Yolo at one point did leave 7-0, the 0-2. And Leday, ground ball shortstop. And it's booted by the normally sure-handed shortstop. And Leslie rolls up his arm, has to go pick the ball up out in shallow left. And Bobby Leday is safe at first. Second error tonight, or today for that matter, for the Ballers. Leday on base now for the third time, but he is now 1 for 2. And now it's the catcher and Angel Mendoza. Now Leslie pretty much sure-handed, and that was really a routine ground ball. There wasn't really a whole lot to it. So now Mendoza bats. He's 0 for 2. Leday at first, and Mendoza bunts to the pitch for a strike. Strap throw to first, and Leday back safely with a dive. Throw taken from the catcher Clark to the first baseman Martinez. Leday, 27 steals. He's been caught 6 times. No balls, 1 strike. Mendoza again shows bunt. Third baseman Burkell charges, and Mendoza bunts one foul at the plate. Strike 2, so 2 failed bunt attempts there, and now that really puts Mendoza behind at 0-2, and now more than likely no threat of a bunt here with 2 strikes. You bunt foul with 2 strikes, you're down on strikes. 0-2 the count. And Leday at first base. And Pajasik delivers. And that's low inside, and now Leday takes off for second, and he'll make it on the wild pitch. So it'll be a wild pitch. Again, moving Leday to second. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. So Mendoza, so now Mendoza's maybe swing away here, get a ground ball to the right side. Fly ball deep enough to get Leday over to third. Big lead at second and the 1-2, and Mendoza does bunt, and he is out on strikes. Bunted foul to the backstop, and he is out. Again, when you bunt foul on 2 strikes, you're out. It goes as a strikeout. So that is the first strikeout for Pajasik. 1 down. I want to correct one thing. I'd said that on attempted pickoff throw. It was the catcher Clark. That part is true. I had said Martinez at first. Brett Barrera is at first base. He's the one who took the throw. Martinez is in left field today. Top of the Yellow order for the 4th time for Braylon Skinner. And the center fielder takes low outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. Skinner is 0 for 0. He's had 3 plate appearances. A hit by pitch, 2 walks, a run scored, a stolen base. The 1-0, and he swings, and he drives this one deep toward right field, and this ball is gone. It's a 2-run line drive home run for Braylon Skinner, and the High Wheelers get 2 runs back, and it's now 9-4 Yolo in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Skinner leaves the yard with a 2-run clout. So a little more breathing room now for Yolo at 9-4. Braylon Skinner goes deep for the 8th time this year. RBIs 46 and 47. So now 9-4 Yolo. Still 1 out, and now it's the shortstop, Rayland Marine, who bats. He's 1 for 3, single and a run scored. And the pitch on the way to Marine, and he drives this one toward right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. And to his left, going further into the gap toward right center, is the center fielder Carson. Holding at first, or stopping at first, is Marine. So now 2 for 4. And here is the third baseman in Braden Blackford. Second hit of this inning for the High Wheelers, who now have 8 hits. and a 9-4 advantage. And now it's Braden Blackford who comes up for the fourth time. He is 0 for 3. 9-4 Yolo, bottom of the sixth. And the pitch to Blackford, and he pops this one up. Shallow right field. Wilmer from the shade into the sun. And the right fielder, Stephen Wilmer, hauls it in. 2 out. Bottom of the sixth inning, 9-4 Yolo, and now Jose Gonzalez comes up.
Now batting, number 23,
And Skinner,
Gonzalez.
his first 2 homers of the year were at Oakland, which included a grand slam for Skinner. That was June 8th at Oakland as the pitch on the way to Gonzalez, inside ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes the count. So Skinner, actually, was not a grand slam in that game for Skinner. It was a 2-run homer and a 3-run homer. Also had a 2-run single, but did have 7 RBIs in a 2-homer game against Oakland. In Oakland, an 11-6 Yolo win on June 8th. The 1-0 pitch, Gonzalez is swinging a miss at a fastball. Strike 1. And the count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. I'll have to check and see if that's Skinner's first home run at this ballpark. Mentioned he had 2 at Oakland. I know he had 2 homers in Grand Junction. The 1-1. Gonzalez swings. Ground ball towards second. 2 is left. Stewart up with the ball, but all he can do is pretty much just eat the baseball. Keeps the ball in the infield or vicinity thereof. So it'll be a single for Jose Gonzalez. He's now 2 for 4. Marine moves to second base. And now Alejandro Figueiredo digs in. 9 hits for the High Wheelers. 9-4 Yolo. Bottom of the sixth inning. And now Figueiredo bats. He is 1 for 3 with an RBI double. And Pachasik from the set deals, and a swing and a miss, but the ball gets away from the catcher Clark, and on the passed ball, the runners move up. As I said, the pitch was swung on a miss. The ball did hit the glove of the catcher Clark, so the passed ball moves Marine to third, Gonzalez to second, and now a base into the outfield could mean 2 more runs for Yolo. 9-4 Yolo, bottom of the sixth inning. So Marine at third, Gonzalez at second in the 0-1, and Figueiredo is swinging a miss at a breaking ball, strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes the count. So 0-2 to Alejandro Figueiredo. With Tanner Smith on deck, and Pachasik from the belt deals. Figueiredo takes high, ball 1. So 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, you kept saying that, so I kept looking at it.
I thought about doing one of these, and I realized I was fighting.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Figueiredo, and that swung on line toward left, and Martinez reaches out, and he drops the ball. 2 more runs will score, Marine, and then Gonzalez. Figueiredo is safe at first, and it's 11-4 in favor of Yolo. That'll be a 2-base error, be a 2-run error. Stopping at first is Figueiredo. No RBIs on that because there were 2 out. So an E7. Noah Martinez dropping the ball. Eventually had to go retrace his steps and pick the baseball up and get it in towards shortstop. So Figueiredo safe at first. Now 11-4 Yolo. They get the 7-run lead back. And now Tanner Smith, ground ball up the middle. Through into center, a base hit. Figueiredo will get as far as second as the center fielder Carson up with the ball. Gets it in towards second. Ball was hit to the second base side of the bag. Hit number 10 for Yolo. By the way, the ball dropped by Martinez. That's the 3rd Oakland error today. And now the 9th man to bat in this inning comes up. And it's David Glancy. So 11-4 now, Yolo, and the pitch on the way to Glancy is inside, ball one from Pajasic, who came on in the third inning. So 1 ball and no strikes, the count. So Figueredo at second, Smith at first, and Glancy takes, and that's low. And that's ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes, the count. So 2-1-0 the count. Outfield medium depth straightaway. 11-4 Yolo. And the pitch, and Glancy, who hit a 2-run homer in the third, takes outside, ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 the count to St. John's alum and David Glancy, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. So 3 balls and 1 strike. So 3-1 the count. Runners lead at first and second. And the pitch, that's way outside, ball 4. Glancy on for the third time. Figueredo to third, Smith to second, and Glancy to first. And now the man who led this inning off, reaching on a fielding error by the shortstop Leslie, Bobby Leday comes up. All right, so did some research. The home run by Braylon Skinner, that is the first time he has homered at this stadium. So Skinner this season, now with 8 home runs, but the first for him here. Now it's Leday, and he takes low and in, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 5 of the 8 home runs for Skinner this year have now come against Oakland. And again, 1 that is now here. So, anyway, Braylon Skinner making it, or part of this now 4-run inning. So, Yolo 11. And Oakland 4, again, if, and it's a big if, and we still got a ways to go, and you saw Oakland was able to chip away a little bit, but Yolo able to get some runs back here to get it back to the second time they've had a 7-run advantage today. These two teams will be tied for first. The kick on the 1-0, and Leday swings and drives one foul left side, strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Leday, runners at every base in the 1-1, and Leday reaches for this one. He flies one high and deep toward left field. Sends Martinez back to the wall. It is gone. Grand slam, Bobby Leday. It is 15-4 now, Highwheelers. Now, so much for that 7-run lead. It's now an 11-run lead for the Yolo Highwheelers. Leday, that's his 2nd grand slam this year. He had the first grand slam in Yolo history. That was here on May 28th against Grand Junction. And that's going to be all for Pajasic. It's now an 8-run 6th inning for Yolo. Leday now with 6 RBIs this afternoon. That's his 2nd hit today. 16 home runs for Leday. And the RBIs for him as he hits the jackpot. RBIs 77, 78, 79, and 80. And that is that for Pajasic here in this 6th inning as Bobby Leday scores everybody here on the grand slam to left field. Well, maybe the 8th spot in the order is going to be okay for Leday after all. So we have a pitching change. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is now Yolo 15 and Oakland 4. Back to tell you about the new Oakland pitcher in a moment in Alex Valasek on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Yolo 15 and Oakland 4. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning, and the new pitcher for the Oakland Ballers is right-hander Alex Valasek, 6'1", 190 pounds, 28 years old, out of Saginaw, Michigan. Angel Mendoza, who is the 11th man to bat in this inning, and he takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Well, normally a tough place to homer, but not so much today as Mendoza lines this ball foul up along third, 0-2. Highwheelers have 3 home runs this afternoon. Glancy, Skinner, and Leday. And Oakland has a home run today by the catcher, Trip Clark. 0-2 the count to Mendoza, who's 0 for 3, and he's hit with a pitch. So first time Mendoza has reached base this afternoon. And now, for the 5th time today, let alone the 2nd time in this inning, Yolo will go to the top of its order for the center fielder, Braylon Skinner. Who had a 2-run homer earlier in the inning. He's 1 for 1 today, and this is his 5th at bat, or 5th plate appearance. And Vlasic deals, and that's low ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 15-4, Yolo, bottom of the 6th inning, an 8-run 6th, where the Highwheelers, as Vlasic comes home, and that's taken for a strike on the inside corner. One ball and 1 strike. One here, low ball 2-2-1. Vlasic, this is his Oakland debut. So just picked up by the Ballers. He had been this year, earlier this season, in the Pecos League with the San Rafael Pacifics up in, well, obviously Northern California, north of San Francisco. 15-4 Yolo, and the pitch, and that's taken for a strike on the outside corner. So 2 balls and 2 strikes from Vlasic, who each of the last 2 seasons, pitcher of the year in the Pecos League. The 2-2 on the way, and that's blown away, ball 3 from Valasek, capital V-A-L-A-S-E-K. So 3 balls and 2 strikes, so 3-2 and 2 out. Mendoza will go automatically. So 3-2 the count. Mendoza being held on by Barrera. 15-4 Highwheelers, bottom of the 6th. And the 3-2, Mendoza goes. That's low outside, ball 4. So Skinner draws a walk. He is on base now safely for the 5th time, and he's 1 for 1. And now here is Braylon Marine, who singled earlier in the inning. He is 2 for 4 today. He's the 13th batter of this bottom of the 6th. It is 15-4 Yolo. And now Marine digs in. And the pitch to Braylon. Slaps this ball to shortstop. Grabbed by Leslie. Underhand toss to the second baseman Stewart. And that forces Marine 6-4. So it was Leslie who booted a ball, a routine ground ball, to open this bottom of the 6th and handles this one. But the damage more than done, as Yolo, since 13 to the plate, scores 8 times on 6 hits. 8 runs, there were 6 hits, 2 errors, and 2 runners left. Don't see the 8-run, 6-hit, 2-error, 2 left inning very often. We go to the top of the 7th. It is Yolo 15 and Oakland 4. Andrew LaCour will be the new Yolo pitcher when we get back on YouTube Live. Well, we go to the top of the 7th inning. It is 15-4 Yolo. I mentioned before the break, Andrew LaCour will come on to do the pitching for Yolo. We're going to see a pinch hitter for Oakland, Tyler Best, who is in his Oakland debut right now. Leads it off. And the pitch from Andrew LaCour. And Best to swing and a foul to the backstop, strike one. No balls and one strike. So Best bats for Leslie, and we'll see if Leslie comes back into play in the bottom half of the inning. It's short, but Tyler Best, who was with Martinez in the Pecos League this year, and the 0-1 on the way, taken for a strike on the outside corner. No balls and two strikes. 15 runs, 11 hits, an error for Yolo. 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors for Oakland. An 8-run bottom of the 6th, where the High Wheelers took advantage of a couple of errors as the 1-2 is outside, ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Best, who is from Eagle, Idaho, which is right outside of Boise. Went to Northwest Nazarene University, also in the Boise area, Division II program. Outfield medium depth straight away, and the 1-2 from LaCour, and Best takes strike 3 on the inside corner. And he is down on strikes in his first ever plate appearance for the Oakland Ballers. So add another strikeout for LaCour, and I don't mean another strikeout today. Obviously, that was LaCour's first batter today, but LaCour, the UC Davis alum, certainly has pitched well in the 1 month he's been here. Now, 17 strikeouts for LaCour in what is his 12th outing for Yolo. That's a span of, at the moment, 11 innings. Top of the order for the Oakland Ballers, I believe it's a pinch hitter. And it's going to be Tyler Lozano who will pinch hit. 15-4 in favor of the High Wheelers, and the pitch Lozano takes outside 1-0. So top of the order for the 4th time. We're going to see the pinch hitter in Lozano, who we normally see as a catcher. As LaCour from the belt makes the 1-0, and Lozano swings and drives one to right, but Smith, who was playing shallow, hustles in to make the catch. And Lozano is out, 2 down. Well, I was hoping we would see 3 straight pinch hitters by the name of Tyler. I mean, if your name is Tyler, there's a good chance you're pinch hitting in this inning. I think right now the Ballers could use their broadcaster, Tyler Peterson. Maybe he could go down and, pinch hit. So quickly 2 out. Final line on Cameron Rapetti for Yolo. 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned. Walked 1, struck out 2. Hit a batter, offered a wild pitch, allowed 1 home run. So now it's Dante Stewart who bats. He is 1 for 3 with a run scored. The lead is 15-4 Yolo, top of the 7th. And Andrew LaCour delivers, and Stewart takes outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. By the way, mentioned the home run. Rapetti allowed the ball that Trip Clark hit. Rapetti was the 10th home run he gave up this year. The 1-0 on the way, and that's a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. But overall, another good job by Cameron. LaCour, 1 win, 1 loss, 2.45 ERA. 12th appearance, all out of the bullpen. LaCour's dad, John, here today. Talked to him briefly. The 1-1, and that's low ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Maybe he just talked to me briefly today. Maybe he just didn't want to talk to me any longer than he had to. 2 balls and a strike to count to Dante Stewart, who got the 3-run Oakland fourth going with a single and scored. But totally different game now, 15-4 Yolo. And the 2-1, and that's outside, ball 3, 3-1. So the High Wheelers, although Yolo's going to challenge that pitch. But it's been confirmed a ball. So the count now with 2 balls and 1 strike with a 15-4 lead for Yolo. The High Wheelers jumped out 7-0 after 3 innings. And then Oakland pushed things a little bit, got it to within 7-4, but an 8-run bottom of the 6th for Yolo. Now 15-4 High Wheelers. The 2-1 pitch to Stewart, driven down the right field side, foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kyle Wojcicki, the second Oakland pitcher, 4 innings today. 5 hits, 8 runs, only 1 earned. Really no consolation, but that's just the way the stats worked. A couple of errors in that 8-run Yolo 6. So 4 innings, 5 hits, 8 runs, 1 earned. 3 walks, 1 strikeout. A wild pitch gave up 2 home runs. Home run to Skinner and the grand slam to Leday. 6 of the 8 runs for Yolo came on homers in that 6th inning. As Stewart pokes one foul up along first. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count from LaCour, who is facing Oakland for the first time. I mean, here's a guy who grew up not far from Oakland, grew up in the East Bay, grew up in Walnut Creek. And when LaCour was signed, it was just after the most recent time these two teams played in late July. LaCour joined us in Colorado Springs. Right at the, as I said, right at the end of July. The 2-2, and that swung on and lifted high toward left center field. Pretty well struck, and this ball's off the wall. Stewart digging for second. Glancy's throw offline over toward the right field side of second base, and Dante Stewart has a double to left. So he is now 2 for 4. The lead is 15-4 in favor of Yolo, top of the 7th inning. And now Noah Martinez digs in to face LaCour. Andrew LaCour is 22 years old, 6'2", 190 pounds. Again, spent 4 years pitching on this mound in a UC Davis uniform. So now Martinez bats, again 0 for 3. Outfield around to the left. 15-4 High Wheelers, and the pitch. And that's taken down the middle, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Andrew LaCour. Works from the belt, checks second base, and the pitch outside for a ball, 1-1. LaCour, the series in Boise, LaCour finished 2 of those games. Put up really good numbers against Boise. The last 2 series for Yolo, LaCour 4 2/3 shutout innings with 6 strikeouts. The 1-1 here, and Martinez, who went to Central Connecticut State for his undergrad and the University of Pittsburgh for grad school and baseball, takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Martinez with Barrera on deck. 15-4 High Wheelers, and the 1-2. Swing and a miss, breaking ball, strike 3. 2 more strikeouts for LaCour. And that ends the top of the 7th. 1 hit, 1 left. Stretch time from Yolo on this Tuesday. From Davis, Yolo 15 and Oakland 4 on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Well, stretch time from Davis, California as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 15-4 Yolo, and tons of changes for the Oakland Ballers, which includes the new pitcher who is really an outfielder, and Brett Carson. So he comes in from center field. So Brett Carson comes in from center to the pitching. The new catcher is Eamon Lance.
Does anyone know who's in center? Did anyone see my
And the first pitch from Carson to Braden Blackford goes all the way to the screen, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. So we got tons of changes, folks, and we will try to get you caught up on everybody. Blackford, Gonzalez, and Figueredo to face Brett Carson, again, who comes in from center field to pitch. We're in the bottom of the 7th. It is 15-4 Yolo. And Carson, understandably, is, like most, not accustomed to pitching, and his first 2 pitches to Braden Blackford have gone way up and in, and both have gone to the screen. So 2 balls and no strikes. So Blackford probably knows he's the only high wheeler who has yet to reach base safely today. And he's saying to himself, I bet, Braden's saying, I better do it against this guy, the 2-0. And that's now 3 in a row to go all the way to the backstop. That went way over the head of the catcher, Lance. So 3-0 to count. So Eamon Lance is catching. The right fielder is the guy we normally see pitch, Jake Dawley, who played outfield in college in Utah. His various schools of 3-0, and that's very high, ball 4. So Blackford now joins all the other high wheelers starting offensive players on a walk, or have all now reached base safely as he walks. And now it's Jose Gonzalez to face Carson. So Carson's first 4 pitches have been nowhere near the plate. So Blackford at first. And the pitch on the way to Gonzalez, up and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Trip Clark moves from catcher to first base. The pitch on the way to Gonzalez, and that hits the inner half of the plate. Strike 1, 1-1. 15 runs, 11 hits in an air for Yolo, 4-6-3. For Oakland, the pitch to Gonzalez, and that drops it nicely for strikes. It's almost as if Carson had like 6 pitches in a row or 5 pitches in a row that went to the screen. The next 2 have been nicely in there. So, as I said, we are continuing to look around the field here. It's going to take us a while to catch up on all the changes for Oakland. Gonzalez, 2 for 4, a 2-run double, a single, 2 runs scored. 15-4 High Wheelers, bottom 7 on the 1-2. And Gonzalez swings and he bloops this one toward left. And that's going to get down for a base hit. That is played by the left fielder in Wilmer. So Wilmer moves from right to left. And now Ethan Bates is going to pinch hit. Gonzalez moves Blackford to second. Gonzalez is now 3 for 4. And Ethan Bates, who's done a good job in the times where he has hit. Again, he's a 2-way player, but Bates now pinch hits for Figueredo. 15-4, Yolo leading Oakland, bottom of the 7th. So Ethan Bates comes up to bat here with first and second. And the pitch on the way to Ethan from Carson is inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. The DH is no longer active. Jalen Smith moves from the DH role to play third base. The kick in the 1-0, and Bates takes low 2-0. Brad Burkell is now at shortstop. This seems like a spring training big league game. Kick on the 2-0, and Bates takes a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. I guess the question is, who is in center field? Tyler Best stays into play center field. The 2-1. And Bates, who had 3 RBIs as the DH in Boise on that last trip, takes low ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. So the only one still in his original position is Dante Stewart for Oakland. The 3-1. And Bates swings and rips this ball. Caught by the second baseman Stewart. Throw back to first. Double play. Nice play there by the second baseman Stewart. That ball was smoked through to the first baseman Clark. Gonzalez is doubled off. Line drive double play goes 4-3. Holding at second is Blackford. So 2 out, 1 on. And now we're going to see the Yolo debut of Taylor Lomack as he pinch hits for Tanner Smith. Lomack, capital Lomack, wears number 18. Lomack just acquired in a trade from Billings a few nights ago. To make room on the roster, the High Wheelers had to release catcher first baseman Eddie Neiman. Now Lomack takes a breaking ball for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Lomack with Billings this year, .326 with a homer and 30 RBIs. Billy Horton managed Lomack last year, who was with Billings, so back-to-back years with Billings for Lomack as he goes down for this one and misses 0-2. And if the High Wheelers are fortunate to make the playoffs, Billy Horton says one of the reasons we got Lomack is here he has a lot of speed off the bench. Swings here, ground ball, right field, base hit. Blackford will get as far as third. He will stop there, and Lomack in his first at-bat as a High Wheeler has a single to right. And he is at first base, and now David Glancy comes up. All right, so let's go with this for Oakland. Stephen Wilmer is in left field. He moves from right to left. Tyler Smith stays in the game to play center field. Jake Dally, he is now in right field. Jalen Smith moves from the DH spot to third. Brad Burkell moves from third to short. Trip Clark is now at first base after catching. And now catching is Eamon Lance. And again, Brett Carson moves from center field to the mound. We'll worry about the batting order when they come up next. The 1-0 pitch, and Glancy swings and flies this one towards center. Back and deep into right center. The center fielder and Best makes the catch. So out of all of this, a walk, pitches to the backstop, 2 singles, but a line drive double play and a fly ball to center. Somehow the High Wheelers do not score in the 7th. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the 8th. Another Yolo pitcher will be in next. As the score is 15-4. Yolo leading Oakland on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Well, more changes as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Yolo 15, Oakland 4. The new pitcher, literally and figuratively the new pitcher for Yolo, Jonah Jenkins. So new I've still not met him. And the right-hander out of the windup, and the first pitch to Eamon Lanson, his first pro at-bat. Fly to right field, to his right in the shade. The right fielder, David Glancy, makes the catch. And that is the first out. So Lance is batting, obviously, in the cleanup spot with Barrera out of the game. So Lance, again, we were going to worry about it when the teams, or when Oakland came to bat in the 8th inning. So Lance, the catcher, flies out here in the 8th inning. And now Trip Clark, the first baseman, will come to the plate. He's 1 for 2. And he swings and slaps this ball up the middle and into second for a base hit. So Clark has a 2-hit game. The new third baseman for Yolo is Travis Holt. Holt will bat 8th, so Bobby Leday comes out of the game. So put Holt at third, hitting 8th. Taylor Lomack stays in the game to play left field. Braden Blackford moves from third base to second. The new catcher for Yolo is Edwin De La Cruz. He bats 9th. I'll go over all of these again in a moment. As we're in the top of the 8th inning, it is 15-4, Yolo. And the pitch on the way to Stephen Wilmer, the left fielder from Jonah Jenkins, outside, ball 1-0. Jenkins pitches. Lomack is in left field. Glancy moves from left to right. Travis Holt bats 8th at third base. Edwin De La Cruz hits 9th. And Braden Blackford moves from third base to second base. So, there you go. Count is a 1-1 to Wilmer's 0 for 3. All right, Jonah Jenkins, who was signed last homestand and then didn't pitch for the brief time he was here in a home uniform and then went with the team to Boise. He did not pitch in that series. The 1-1 here, breaking ball taken for a strike, 1-2. 15-4, Yolo leads Oakland, top of the 8th. Jonah Jenkins is 6'1", 205 pounds. He's 25 years old. Originally from the Denver area. He's from Parker, Colorado. Outfield around to the left on the 1-2 pitch, and that is hit on the ground to first. It's gloved on the grass by Gonzalez, and an easy toss to the pitcher. Jenkins going by, and Wilmer is out, 3-1 on that play. Clark up to second base, 2 out. 15 runs, 13 hits, 1 error for Yolo. 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for Oakland. And now Jalen Smith, the third baseman, will come up. So Jenkins, the background on Jonah Jenkins, he was recommended to the High Wheelers by pitching coach Jerome Williams because Jenkins spent last season in the MLB Draft League with State College in Pennsylvania. He was 1-2 with a 3.27 ERA in 10 games, 8 as a starter. Now the pitch on the way to Smith, taken for a strikeout on 1. But Jenkins, it's been 17 days since he's last pitched. You got to go back to when he was with Missoula this year. As the 0-1, breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 2-2. Jenkins was with Missoula, and the last game he pitched was August 16th against Great Falls. Got the loss in that one, a game in which he went 3 2/3 innings. Gave up 7 hits, 4 runs all earned. 0-2 the count. And the pitch to Smith, and he flies this one towards center. Back into his right. Plenty of room out there for Braylon Skinner. And he makes the catch. And Jonah Jenkins, who also was in the Frontier League this year with the New York Boulders and the Ottawa Titans, has a scoreless 8th inning. 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. That is Yolo 15 and Oakland 4 on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. On we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. It is Yolo 15 and Oakland 4, and Travis Holt will lead it off for the Yolo High Wheelers. It'll be Holt, De La Cruz, and then the top of the Yolo order for the center fielder Skinner. Holt came on to play third base in the top half of the inning. Holt's average as a high wheeler, 171, no homers. He has 5 RBIs. Brett Carson set for a second inning of relief. And the pitch, breaking ball outside, ball 1-0. Again, Carson playing in center field just about all game, but now pitched a scoreless 7th. Holt swings here, grounder foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Holt batting, as I said, in the 8th spot. So Bobby Leday coming out of the game after going 2 for 4 with a grand slam. And there's the pitch on the way, and that's a strike called on the outside corner.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Holt swings here, and he flies one high to left field. Wilmer to his left, and Stephen Wilmer will be there to make the catch. And that is the first out. And now Edwin De La Cruz will come to the plate for the first time. 226 for De La Cruz. He has 1 home run, and he has 4 runs batted in. So De La Cruz will bat, and he's sitting at the 9th spot. The Oakland order, Carson, who was briefly lifted for the pinch hitter, but obviously stays as the leadoff man. There's the pitch to De La Cruz, and that's a strike called on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. So Carson leading off, now of course pitching. Stewart's been in all game at second, batting second. Jake Dowley is the right fielder. He's hitting third as the pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Eamon Lance, the catcher, batting cleanup. As De La Cruz flies this one deep down the right field line toward the corner, and this ball is off the wall. The ball comes back onto the grass as the right fielder Dowley has to go pick up the ball and gets it in towards second. And De La Cruz, a fly ball double off the right field wall. He's at second. So he is 1 for 1 now, and now for the 6th time today, Yolo will go to the top of its order for the center fielder Braylon Skinner with a 15-4 Yolo lead. Bottom of the 8th. So Carson first in the order, Stewart second, Dowley third in right field, Lance cleanup doing the catching, Clark, Wilmer, Smith, Burkell, all of course in the same spot despite moving defensively, and Tyler Best stayed in the ballgame after pinch hitting in the 7th, and he stayed in to play center field. So Oakland, it's Wilmer in left, Best in center, Dowley in right, Smith at third, Burkell at short, Stewart at second, Clark at first, Lance catching, and Carson pitching. Now Skinner, and he is behind at, is it already 0-2? Scorman has 0-2. And the pitch, and Skinner takes outside for a ball. I guess I must have missed the pitch. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Skinner, a 2-run homer in the 6th inning, which jumped the High Wheeler lead from 7-4 to 9-4. The 1-2. Poked in the air, foul left side, 2-2. So Skinner hit twice in the 8-run 6th inning. He had a 2-run homer and also walked. He's walked 3 times. He has scored twice. He's been hit with a pitch. De La Cruz at second, the 1-2. And Skinner takes outside, 2-2. So Skinner, if he can get on base safely here, then it would be the 6th time that he will have reached base, the 2-2. And he won't do so as he swings and misses at a high fastball, strike 3. He is out. Only High Wheeler to reach base safely in a game 6 times this year, Bobby Leday, June 18th here against Oakland. But Skinner strikes out swinging there against Carson. That's the first strikeout for Carson. And now Braylon Marine will dig in with Yolo leading 15-4. Trying to see if Carson has pitched at all. At least with Oakland, he has not. So this is Carson's first pitching performance with the Ballers as he pours in a strike on the outside corner to Marine, 0-1. And the next pitch to Braylon, fouled at the plate, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Braylon Marine. who was 2 for 4, couple of singles, couple of runs scored. So no balls and 2 strikes to count with 2 out. De La Cruz, the runner at second base. And the pitch, and Marine swings and misses. High fastball, strike 3. And he is out. So Brett Carson, a couple of shutout innings. 7th and 8th. Holding off the High Wheelers. 1 hit for Yolo, 1 left. Last chance for Oakland. We go to the top of the 9th inning. It is Yolo 15 and Oakland 4 on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports.
Being tossed into the crowd. Let's see some dance moves and hear your voices.
Just get a dally at that. That's what we need. We did a couple days ago in Equator. We were blown the hell out on Saturday.
Same picture.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
300 runs today.
A lot.
8.
A lot.
Still be nuts. 6. 9. 72. 9.
Leading off for the Ballers at the top of the 9th, number 5, Brad Burkell.
Last chance for Oakland as we go to the top of the 9th inning. It is 15-4. The Yolo High Wheelers out in front. 15 runs, 14 hits, 1 error for Yolo. 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for Oakland. Brad Burkell leads it off facing Jonah Jenkins. It'll be Burkell, Best, and then the top of the Oakland order for the pitcher Carson. Swing here, Tapper toward third. Moving to his left, Holt gloves the baseball and throws on the run from the grass to Gonzalez at first. And Burkell is out, 1 out. Top half of the 9th inning. It is 15-4 Yolo. And now Tyler Best, who came on in the 7th inning, stayed in the game to play center field, will bat again. He is 0 for 1 to face Jonah Jenkins. Mentioned pro time this year, 4th professional team this season for Jenkins. As the righty deals a breaking ball, taken for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Jenkins, in terms of college baseball, began his career at Dartmouth. Not exactly known as a baseball power. The 0-1, and that's high ball 1-1. No offense to the great Red Rolfe, who played at Dartmouth in the way back in the day, the former great Yankee, but also did Brad Ausmus, former big league catcher and later manager of the Tigers. He went to Dartmouth. The 1-1. Swing and a tapper on the grass toward third. Again, charged by Holt. Another similar opportunity, and throws on to Gonzalez at first. And Best is out, 2 out. And now Oakland down to its last out, as it for the 5th time tonight will go to the top of its order. And it's the guy who's been pitching the last couple of innings, Brett Carson, who comes up. But Jenkins also, after Dartmouth, went to school at the University of San Francisco and Ohio State. So now it's Carson. By the way, Carson does have some pro pitching experience. 1 game last year with Rocky Mountain, and then in the Frontier League also last year with the Washington Wild Things, a team that plays near Pittsburgh. So he swings and misses, strike 1, 0-1. But Carson pitched quite a bit at Marietta College, Division III school in Ohio for the Marietta Pioneers. As the 0-1 is outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, members of the Ohio Athletic Conference. So he did pitch, was a two-way player in college, so does have some experience on the mound. Outfield around to the left, the 1-1. Swing, chopper to second base. Gloved by Braden Blackford, and the second baseman will throw to Gonzalez at first to get Carson, and the ball game is over. And the Yolo High Wheelers, creeping closer to the playoffs, win this one 15-4. 4. So the High Wheelers all come out of that first base dugout to shake hands. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Final score this afternoon, it was Yolo 15 and Oakland 4. I will be back with the final totals in just a moment.
September 4th at 4 p.m.
Final score here this afternoon, it was the Yolo High Wheelers 15 and the Oakland Ballers 4. Here are the final totals first for the victorious Yolo High Wheelers, now 51 and 38 overall and 28 and 15 in the second half. 15 runs, 14 hits, 1 error, and 8 left for the Oakland Ballers, who dropped to 55 and 36 overall and 28 and 15 in the second half. 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, and 6 left. So these two teams, now with 5 more regular season games to go, are tied for first place in the second half chase for a playoff spot in the Pioneer League. The winning pitcher for the Yolo High Wheelers, Cameron Rapetti, he is now 8 and 4. The loss to Oakland, Zach St. Pierre, and he drops to 6 and 5. Time of today's game, 2 hours and 38 minutes. And as we are told not to do by company policy, we do not announce the attendance. So the High Wheelers, the magic number of 3 coming into today to clinch a playoff spot. Sent to the mound, a guy who's pitched very well of late, right-hander Cameron Rapetti, not too far removed from a pitcher of the year honor, or pitcher of the week honor a few weeks ago. And then Zach St. Pierre, guy who's filled a couple of roles this year for Oakland, obviously out of the pen and the rotation. Well, Yolo was able to jump on the board with a couple of 2-out runs in the second. A 2-run double by the second baseman, Bobby Leday. And then Yolo broke the game open, what seemed to be broke it open early with 5 runs in the third inning, sending 9 to the plate. It was a 2-run double by Jose Gonzalez, an RBI double by Gonzalez, the first baseman, an RBI double by the designated hitter Alejandro Figueiredo, and a 2-run homer by left fielder David Glancy. And his third with Yolo. And that made it 7-0, and that knocked St. Pierre out of the game. Oakland fought back. They scored 3 runs in the fourth, added a run in the sixth, and things got a little tight. It was 7-4 in favor of the High Wheelers, but in the sixth, it all started on a ground ball to the normally sure-handed shortstop, Josh Leslie, the former High Wheeler, who booted the ball off the bat of Bobby Leday. And then 2 batters later, the top of the Yolo order was up for the 4th time, and center fielder Braylon Skinner, a 2-run homer to right, and that made it 9-4. in favor of the High Wheelers, courtesy of Skinner's 8th homer and RBIs 46 and 47. Braylon Marine followed with a single. Later in the inning, Jose Gonzalez a single to right. And then Alejandro Figueiredo hit a fly ball to left, but the ball was dropped by the left fielder, Noah Martinez. That allowed Marine to score, allowed Gonzalez to score to make it 11-4. And then several batters later, Bobby Leday, in his second at bat of the inning, really made the Ballers pay. A grand slam to left, capping a 2-hit, 6 RBI day, his second grand slam of the year. That made it 15-4. Yolo Leday's 16th homer and his 6 RBIs give him 80 this year, and Yolo would go on and win 15-4. Cameron Rapetti for the High Wheelers, 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, a walk, 2 strikeouts, a hit batter, a wild pitch, and a home run. Andrew LeCour, 1 shutout inning, a hit, no walks, 2 strikeouts. And Jonah Jenkins in his Yolo debut, 2 shutout innings and 1 hit and all zeros from there. Zach St. Pierre, the Oakland starter, 2 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, a homer allowed. Kyle Pajasic, who gave up that grand slam, not very good defense around him, but he went 4 innings, 5 hits, 8 runs, only 1 earned, 3 walks, a strikeout, a wild pitch, gave up the home runs to Skinner and the grand slam, as I said, to Leday. St. Pierre gave the home run to Glancy. Then the third pitcher, making his Oakland debut, Alex Velasic, 1/3 of an inning, a walk, and a hit batter. And then Brett Carson, it's the center fielder, but he came in to pitch the final 2 innings, 2 shutout innings for the former college pitcher at Marietta University in Ohio, or Marietta College, 2 shutout innings, 3 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Rapetti, the Yolo winner, 8-4. St. Pierre, the Oakland loss, 6-5. 2 hours, 38 minutes this game took. Again, by company policy, we do not announce attendance. Yolo wins it 15-4, and now the magic number is at 2 to clinch a playoff spot for the High Wheelers, who could possibly do it as early as tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, we are back with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. 4 o'clock Pacific time will get things going. For the Oakland High Wheelers, it's right-hander Justin Kleinsword. You'll get the baseball at 5-3, and Yolo will counter with right-hander Brandon McPherson at 6-1. Great job by our producer and director Michael Sapel, the Yolo High Wheelers. Thank you to all of you listeners and the folks at Flow Sports and YouTube Live. Final score today, Yolo 15 and Oakland 4. Yolo is now 17-3 in its last 20 games. Doug Greenwald saying